the challenger, former WBC International Heavyweight Champion, Joe Smith Jr., the reigning and defending undefeated WBA Light Heavyweight Champion of the World, Dmitry Bivol.
I'm only going to tell you two things. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves, bang at the bell. God bless.
To see in the early stages here, Bivol looking very stern. Generally, he feels his way into a fight. Smith
obviously talking during the week that he could get down to super middle.
And they can tip and tap a little bit at times, but then they really put some meat on the bone. Great intent. He does have a good reach on him. He does have
good chin, takes a great shot. I just think that yeah, and on the flip side of that, Bivol looks very relaxed, very much in control. I
wonder if it's been enough for him to win the round with a good finish to it.
Thinking about attack, he's thinking about defence, and then when he does
so far as they just circle around each other in centre ring, moving straight in behind the right hand there, Smith. Almost like he felt. It's a good lead left hand from Bivol 20 or so seconds ago. Smith just trying to jab his way in, got caught on the inside.
Him in, making him miss, pulling out of range, and then Smith kind of get...
The frustration probably comes from the fact that...
looking at the two fighters here and thinking about what Bivol said during the week that he could make, but Bivol certainly looked like he wanted to grab hold of Smith momentarily. Good right hand there from Bivol, solid right hand, timed that really well. Like he wanted to try and make an impression, get the respect of Bivol, but Bivol, good opening round from him.
Straight.
Little feints, making out as if he's going to go to the body, then doesn't, just pulls back. He's always got you guessing with little feints, and you're under a lot of pressure. Walks
around, and that right hand certainly gave him a lot of, but he does step in to that lead left hook as he tried to there.
Yeah, well, I think that Smith's going to come out and look. Bivol more so than being hurt by anything. I mean, he's a pretty tough guy.
He's quite an Eastern European.
Joe Smith is so kind of preoccupied with his own defences that it's prepared to take one to land one. With Bivol,
he's got a good reach on him, Smith. You can see that every single time he pops out that jab.
It's almost like you acclimatised to the power when you get hit with it. But Bivol, technically the better fighter, the better feet.
Bivol just
very calm in there.
Good comes here, but he doesn't want to be too reckless, too gung-ho with it at the moment. Big overhand right there, didn't quite land, but he just steps in after it there, Smith.
Fafara in Chicago, where he would have had huge Polish support, and he'll be, he's well aware of
the work, I would say, in this opening round so far has come from Bivol. Final
nice solid left hook counter then, lovely 1-2 down the middle.
Because he is within range to be hit, but actually catching him is a different matter.
Yeah, he's in range.
These two made it very, very comfortably indeed. Later stages of Bivol looking for right to the body there. Nice straight 1-2.
A few low blows, put their heads in there, elbows if you have to, whatever he has to do to win.
That's the probably happy with. He put those three in his pocket, no doubt about that, but there's a slightly different complexion to this now. There, just below the left eye, just a slight little mouse forming there, nothing to be too concerned. It was actually quite difficult to see whether that landed clean or whether it was a glancing blow, but you could see from the replay there. Probably the thinking.
Yeah, without, he's got to rough him up, he's got to get close, he's got to use his size, he's the bigger man. Win a technical warfare with Bivol.
Smith just walking after his hands a bit.
The most important thing when you get hit.
Fighter, the New York State fighter from Long Island. With it, he hasn't been quite as extravagant with it in recent rounds than he was towards the start of the fight. Bivol trying to time that jab. Deal with Dmitry, started with a 10-rounder and had another one tonight. WBA.
You're just stuck there in no man's land, as you call it, and that's exactly what it is, and that's where you don't want to be.
Way down, but what it did do was tied Bivol up, but there's a minute and a half to go, and the Russian is looking to pour it on here. The damage he'd done, though, was there, because sometimes you see...
Jumping in with the lead left hook there. Yeah, Joe Smith doesn't want this to become...
Sullivan Barrera and still saw out the full joke. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't think that's going to emerge during the course of the fight, and I may...
Without a doubt, he knew that he landed a solid shot and that it hurt Joe Smith. But Joe Smith, tough guy though, Joe Smith recovers very quickly. These are solid shots.
But these are punishing shots, goes down. Really, he didn't have an answer to Bivol. Now it's more success with that kind of tactic than he was having in the opening 3 rounds. Okay, it's not perfect.
More success. Lovely right hand there from Bivol. Just met Joe Smith as Joe tried to close the distance.
It could be a slight problem, but he's not showing any signs of it at the start of the 7th round. We're into... Looking for that big overhand right for Bivol with the glove up. Able to protect himself. To get out of the corner, but he didn't quite manage to take it. He has now.
He's got to do this the hard way, as they say. He's got to make it a rough, tough, rugged affair. And I'm a more physical man. I can lean on you, I can pull down, I can try and land a few. That's it, and you cannot afford to get caught in that no man's land. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to feint you and trying to take that hard. It'll be difficult if he has perforated his ear. And it's a horrible injury. Happened to me a couple of times, and it totally affects. Going very side on here, defence behind the
target there, but back to the ropes, and Bivol just waited too long. Title was elevated to full WBA champion. Smith had a different ringside, just trying to tuck up behind that shoulder there. Smith away. Smith again backs off himself, tries to get that guard in place. Realise the full extent of it, but I think Bivol there did. Front and back foot, that's what gives him such good mobility
all the time. Not necessarily because, you know, Gennady Golovkin breaks hearts because he breaks ribs and he breaks noses and he puts a lot.
Difficult for Joe Smith, and I wouldn't say that all of the ambition to win this fight has been beaten out of him quite yet. He is still throwing back, but
no, but he's way
it's
behind.
just too wide.
There's no reason to drop those hands. Dropping your hand.
Joe Smith's just backs Joe Smith up without even throwing a punch, just by feinting him, just by the way he uses his feet. You know, Bivol is by far the superior fighter, really technically much better. Yeah, nice 1-2 down the middle from him. Yeah, I think a lot of guys like to leave the left hand out there. It does block the vision of the fighter coming forward.
Be willing to take one, to land one. It's not getting engineer them, but at no point has he really looked. So just under 90 seconds to go, and Bivol is all but there, everything. So there's no great shame in that clubbing left hand. When you compare him to Callum Smith, for example, I don't think he would be. Smith physically would be bigger, definitely.
I think so. I think Callum Smith. You're not going to break someone's heart by landed a really good right hand on the bow. And he's come out quick here at the start of the 11th. It's been a good round.
Good energy, good tempo, really looking to load up on that right hand. Heading up to the final.
Joe Smith is one of those guys. He is a toss. Again tonight, I think it's a fight that both with Matchroom, it'd be an easy fight to make. Leaning in as if he's going to throw a shot. 2 good left hooks going in there, head, then switching it to the body.
Exactly be difficult to make either. Looking for that left hand.
He's very very well balanced, very technically well scored. There's a bit of a WWE move going in there.
Well, he's going to get told off for that, that's for sure. We saw a bit of frustration a couple of weeks ago between Chris Eubank Jr. and James DeGans. Available to the referee. It's not the case, so trying to block your opponent's view. I don't really see the problem.
Shook him a little bit. That's nice right hand, left hook.
Each other. They would be really high.
Good sharp hand speed there from first gear. Lovely jabs there, head and body, then hooking up the jab. You watch his feet when he pulls out of range. Straight away he's looking to get back in.
It's something that referees can take varying views on, a bit like pulling a glove. The two. But he's got respect for Joe Smith.
Shook Bivol, who I think, in hindsight, I think he was glad that was on the bell.
Nice combination from Bivol. Career 268 wins, 15 defeats in that Russian system. He never really got to the #1 spot, though.
He could do super middleweight. He looks quite a bit smaller than Joe Smith.
Well, I was just miss all the time.
Absolutely, Andy. Tough guys like Joe Smith.
I think landed completely solid, just a glancing blow.
Nice stiff jab from Smith. It's alarming and it's surprising how many times you just land that straight right down the middle after it.
He hurt him with that left hand. They just doubled Smith over and caused him to...
Yeah, I like that lead, double left hook. He mixes it up so well, he never... Everyone like heavyweight, huge for the weight. That's good work from...
And he feels that he can't pull it, then if a fight were to end in those... Interesting there, Bivol just stuck out the left hand and just left it in the face of Smith to get through.
Yeah, I think so. He's been a tough night with Joe Smith. He's just a rugged, tough guy. Good chin.
With the IBF, Kovalev with the WBO, Gvozdyk to really pour it on, and shots getting through there, and maybe one just a little bit late.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards with a winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated and still the WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, Dmitry Bivol.